So I just want to show y'all how far these Satanists have me dragging my bags with this baby in me for this gang to try to do a blood ritual for my baby daddy for a gang. I'm in front of this Wendy's on Cascade Road where I walked from 957 Cascade Road where Victor Golden, a gang member, is trying to set me up with this racist white Illuminati gang, and they got black gang members around me that's possessed with the spirit of Satan that's trying to do a blood ritual on me, and I'm pregnant for my child father, Austin John Meta, a white Caucasian male, and they trying to keep me from putting out the evidence of what they trying to do for this 666 bullshit that they out there throwing up in Hollywood. And all these black men from Hollywood is out here on foot, and that's why they want folks wearing masks, thinking that I couldn't recognize some of them. They out here, God already showed me, trying to do Austin's sacrifice and trying to kill me for this damn gang. But anyway, let me tell y'all, so Austin had picked me up by my stomach in my third trimester. I had ran outside naked because he was doing gang shit to me in the house and I didn't know it, but he was abusing me. And I ran out pregnant with my son, Melbourne, with our son. And I had gone to Conroe Regional Hospital to see if the baby was all right, because Austin had picked me up by my belly when I ran out the house. He came in the street, he chased me down in the middle of the street, and I made it out the driveway and I was trying to run to a nearby neighbor or something, and I knew that I was naked, but he was doing gang shit to me in the house and I didn't know, and they was over there framing me to look crazy. And the neighbor girl, Shay, that moved downstairs, she had moved in when these white women moved out, and the white woman downstairs, she the one who told me I could get the apartment through Keller Williams, through a lady named Michelle. She moved out. Her and her boyfriend, the white lady down there, they seemed to want to move out after I moved in, and Shay moved down there. And then when she moved in, it was like it was on some gang shit, because the way that they was trying to kind of handle me a little bit, and they was letting me know that something was up with Shay moving in down there and her boyfriend Brandon, her baby daddy, and this got something to do with all these people tied up in this gang. And so Shay, niece or daughter, seen me run out the house naked or heard me scream and was telling people they seen me run outside naked. That's what they said. But I ran outside naked because he was doing gang stuff to me in the house. And then all of a sudden, hold on, because I got all these gang members. That's why I'm telling y'all what's going on, because they is all over the motherfucking place. And they've been doing this to a lot of people, and they want you to film them and then have you looking crazy on your damn page, and then talking about you a nuisance to the community while they trying to do a blood ritual on you for some damn gangs. And it's sad how they doing this shit. So anyway, forgive me for cursing, Father God. But he ran me up out of the house on some gang shit. And everybody knew about this shit, because this gang is not just any regular gang. It's a satanic gang. And you gotta denounce Jesus Christ in order to be in this gang. And when you do that, that's when the demonic possession happens. And that's what the whole secret is about with these gangs, is the demonic possession. And it's a lot more to why they murder and do things like that. Okay, but anyway, so he ran me out of my home on some gang stuff, and everybody was involved in this gang while he was doing this stuff to me. And he picked me up by my stomach when I ran out the house, ran down my stairs. I was on the second floor. Shay was underneath me. I was in apartment 3 above Shay at 1308 Houston Street. And I had a vision of Shay while I was in the jail, while they was trying to murder me and poison me and my baby that I'm pregnant with. And God said that Shay owed me some money or something. But he said he showed something about a correctional guard. Shay is some damn prison or something. And some correctional guards, some black female correctional guards in my car. Something about Austin driving my car all over Conroe, Texas with somebody else up in the car to restaurants, and then them trying to have me walking around with a black shirt on or something and no pants or no panties on and walking around pregnant and shaking like this with my butt out while they all riding around trying to get black girls that know about what happened to me to work in the prisons. And something about Shay. And God said Shay owed me something. And it got something to do with some sexual stuff and something about my baby daddy. And Shay called the police on Austin when I was pregnant and reported that he was abusing me. And Shay called the police again. But then when Austin got out of prison, she tried to pretend like she didn't know that he was up there abusing me. And the day that I had ran out of the house naked in my third trimester with my son when he was abusing me, he picked me up by my belly when I made it out the driveway in the street. And then he drugged me and carried me back up the stairs by my belly. And when I went in the house, I knew something was wrong with Melbourne because I was hurt. And when I'm hurt and I felt his fetus, I felt his body moving around in my belly. And God didn't call my baby no fetus ever. God always have referred to my children as babies. My baby was moving around. And they tried to tell me when I almost had a miscarriage with him at 16 weeks old, they abused me like this and made me walk around like this, abusing me like this when I was pregnant with Melby. And I didn't know that was gang stuff too. And they was trying to make me lose Melbourne. And I was bleeding and went to the hospital at 16 weeks with him. And they did the same thing to me. But I didn't know it was gang shit, but I knew they was all in. I knew something was up. And they told me when they came to my apartment when I called the ambulance for bleeding at 16 weeks with Melby, they told me that he was not considered a human being. And Austin was in jail for the rape charge, and he did that to me while I was pregnant. And he did it the second time too. And so God said that that's why I've been bleeding. And it ain't the cigarettes and it ain't the weed. It was the abuse. And so when he picked me up by my stomach and I felt Melby moving slow and it hurt. And I laid down and it felt good. You know, like I felt better, but I felt like I needed to go to the hospital because he did hurt my stomach and I felt like Mel was hurt. The pain that I felt when he picked me up by my stomach was that he hurt my baby because my baby started moving slow like he was in there hurt. And then so I went to Conroe Regional Hospital and they hooked me up to the monitors to monitor Melbourne heartbeat because there was times that Austin abused me and I didn't know if the baby was alive. So I went multiple times to Conroe Regional Hospital for them to do this. And I went to the Woodlands Hospital as well for them to do this. And Melbourne was alive. There was a heartbeat. And when he was 16 weeks old, they said that my baby was not considered a human being and almost refused to take me on the ambulance while I was in there bleeding. And they tried to keep forcing me to work at Taco Bell after I done slipped and fell, mopping their floors while pregnant. And then they tried to make me lose my job while I was on bed rest and bleeding with the doctor's note. And I already had told them, and they said that they didn't know if I was gonna have a miscarriage or not, but they said that I should lie down, and they gave me a piece of paper, and I told my bosses and everything. And then they had this white woman calling me, and Melbourne still had a heartbeat. The ambulance ended up taking me on the ambulance, and then they left me on the stretcher in the middle of the hallway. And then they put me in a room. I asked for a sandwich or something, and they refused to give it to me. And then the lady stuck a probe in my vagina, a vaginal probe, when Melbourne was 16 weeks in my stomach. And she saw his heartbeat. And then she told me that I might still have a miscarriage, though. and that she wasn't sure if he would survive. So I stayed on bed rest from the time that Melbourne was 16 weeks up until about 5 months, and I worked at Austin was at the jail. He was in the Montgomery County Jail on the rape charge, and I was in a new apartment. And so now he came into my home, attacking me at 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and he just kept attacking me, and I didn't know that it was for a gang. And that's the people who is driving around and messing with me to try to keep me from telling about what they be doing to their family members and their children as a part of this satanic gang and they baby mamas. And I don't know exactly all the reasons why, but God said it had something to do with them denouncing Jesus Christ and being possessed. I'll have to go into more details on that later. Let me just talk about the abuse and this gang helping cover it up. So the hospital was trying to call a social worker and call me codependent when Austin was abusing me, and told me to tell them that it was Austin that was abusing me. But I didn't want to tell on him, so I told them that I slipped and fell. I'm sorry, it's just so hard for me to tell y'all about what my child father was doing with this gang. But the abuse that he was doing to me has something to do with this gang, and they out here covering it up and riding all around trying to make me look like I'm crazy or some sort of paranoid schizophrenic, and I'm not going out like that. So God help me just remember always. So he was abusing me while I was pregnant with my baby boy, and I guess he was trying to kill him, but I didn't know. Or he was trying to kill me or get me. God said something about a blood sacrifice that him and Cynthia needed for this gang, and it's a satanic gang, and it involves the White Brotherhood. And because my child father is white, and they got these black men who possessed with this same spirit from this gang. You got to do an oath, and then they do you a demonic possession. And then they start doing all the things that's against God for Satan as a part of this gang. And I guess that's how they get rank. And you hear that term rank. But it's for a white brotherhood. So they got these black men thinking that they gonna get with me, bring me up in their house, abuse me, and make sure that the last videos that I posted before they did whatever they did was of me with some black man. I don't know what their whole plot is, but I think that the whole point of having the black men abuse me is so that they won't point the finger at the white people, because it's the white brotherhood that got the black men doing this. And the black men cannot control themselves from doing it because of the demonic possession. And they have a lot to do with this gang that I'm trying to tell y'all about, because you can't just murder people and kill your own family for no damn gang and think that God was not going to curse you. So these people got this evil-ass, demonic-ass spirit. But I don't want to go into that yet, because they don't want me to talk about the Bible and let y'all know what kind of mistake they made by joining this gang and doing this. They try to call it gang stalkers, but that's not really what it is. It's a gang, but it's an antichrist. And it's a blood ritual. And it's witchcraft. So it's not a real, like the gangs is involved. Yeah, the Bloods, the Crips, all of them. But now God have revealed to me why everybody came out the woodworks to try to kill me and cover up my baby daddy abusing me, because they was putting him up to doing it so that it's something to do with some sacrifice that he had to make to this gang. So he was in there abusing me, and I'm thinking that he really was going to stop abusing me every time he said sorry, and he never did. And he ritually abused me. And they started doing it together all over the neighborhood while I was pregnant in the house with Melbourne. They was poisoning me, and my stomach never went down. And I see Jehovah in the heavens behind me, because these gangs out here. Now, you might not be able to see it, but The sky's lighting up. He ain't doing it right now, but he just let me know he with me. He with me. So that means I need to keep on telling and don't be afraid of them. So Austin ended up going to prison when my little boy was like 3 or 4 weeks old. When my baby was born, my baby had some complications. They tried to take my baby from me at the hospital. They did so much stuff to me, y'all, for this gang, this satanic witchcraft stuff. It's a coven, really. It's not really a gang. That's what they use to cover up the fact that it's a coven. And they all witches and doing witchcraft and they possessed by Satan. That's the truth.